Hello, Joy Rachel here. Today I'm going to be channeling a message from the GAIUS Collective. So I'm just going to close my eyes and tap in to the message that is wanting to come out through my vocals. We are GAIUS. And today we would like to broadcast a message through Joy Rachel in regards to the Facebook Live video she did a few weeks ago regarding not all light language is good, not all galactic star beings, ETs, aliens, whatever it is you want to call them, even inner earth people and inner earth beings are good. We are here and Joy is here to help educate you in using your discernment and becoming more aware of who you are allowing into your energy and to access your energy field. For many of you during this time, especially through Lionsgate, where the energies have been intense and frequent and abilities have been heightened and making this easier for beings to connect with you. And as we move further into the year, there's going to be more heightened times where this will be happening. And so we are here to guide and educate you on what to be aware of before you connect with any being, before you allow any being to channel through you. What is happening in the collective right now is there are many star seeds, intuitives who are connecting with various galactic star beings and allowing them to channel through their voices without them being fully aware of who they are, what they are here to help planet Earth with, what they're here to help you with. And this can be a really challenging time because there are many of you who get really excited when beings contact you or you're receiving messages, and so then you just go into this state of allowance, of just surrendering and recording the message, vocalizing the message, and then sending it out into the masses, especially with light language, light codes, written codes, vocal toning. But we are here to guide you to really seep into your consciousness the awareness of how you should go about contacting any galactic star being, ET, whatever you want to call them. For the remainder of this video, we are going to refer them as galactic star beings. The safest way to do this is to build a connection with your higher self and to know how it is that you are receiving information from your psychic abilities or psychic resources. Many of you may be questioning, well, you don't know how to decipher the voice of your higher self, how to connect to your higher self. And that is a message that we're also conveying here, is to really have this deep connection within yourself to your higher self. When you have the connection to your higher self, that your higher self becomes your grounding rod for discernment of who can come into your space and who cannot come into your space. There have been many spiritual teachers and messages out there who have stated that if you just state to your higher self, and you state an intention that you're connecting with beings that are for your best good or whatever, that is what's going to be coming in. What many fail to address and really get across and teach about is your energetic state when you go into these connected states. So we're asking you to be very mindful of your energy levels, physical body energy and energetic energy levels. So if you're in a state of distress, many people, or we'll rephrase this, many people can become very open to spiritual connection from various entities, galactic star beings, when they're in a lower vibrational state. Why, you may ask? When you're in a lower vibrational state, many times you are requesting a prayer, you're requesting help, you are in victim energy, and the energy of the victim is very, very low. It's extremely low. And this happens to spiritual people. This happens to star seeds. This happens to light warriors. This happens to light workers. This happens to gurus who you look up to. It has happened to them. Many people just aren't talking about it because they're in these states where they have been so far, they're so far from it, where they're continually at these higher states, that it's really hard for them to go back and know and feel that energy of what it was like when they hadn't found that spiritual connection with their team and are at the levels that they are now. And this is something we reiterate to Joy all the time, is we keep nudging her to talk about these topics that are polarizing, that are going to trigger you. But if she's not going to trigger you, then who is? Who else has the courage to bring and speak these polarizing messages that go against the grain of what many spiritual teachers teach and what many spiritual teachers have taught in the past? That is all old paradigm information. Joy is bringing forth new paradigm information into the new age of Aquarius, which will officially start in December, but we're making our way there. You guys are making your way there. Okay, back on topic. So when you're in these lower vibrational energies, especially when you're in victimhood, when you're in a victim energy, and many of you may be in denial of when you are in victimhood energy, But this is just to really go into your conscious and your subconscious mind to help you become more aware of when this is happening for you, so you can start to recognize it. But when you're in these really low states of energy and you are the victim, you are screaming and praying, pleading for help and assistance. Your energy is low, but you're open to receive. Do you see the correlation there? Your energy is low, you're open to receive a sign, a message, guidance, anything. You're in this energy of desperation for what you are screaming and praying, yelling at the universe and your team for. We know you guys have all been there. Joy's been there. It's nothing to be ashamed about. It's nothing to feel bad about. You're human, having a human experience. It's a part of it. We're just here to educate you and help you grow into higher vibrational states of awareness, so that the more that you are aware of your vibrational state and what's happening to you and your energy, you're opening up pockets of energy for the whole collective to open up and come to realize the whole, to realize it on their own, to come across this video, come across other content that is saying the same information. Okay, at this time, I'm going to take a sip of water. So it is utmost important to build these relationships with yourself, especially your higher self. If you don't know how to build your relationship with your higher self, then Joy is a good mentor to help with that. Maybe we'll have her create a resource or a video series on how to really build a connection with your higher self. Recently, she did record a Lionsgate Portal Resurrection series, which has anchors in it for you being able to hold the energy and have information just be fully filtered in through your higher self, and having yourself become more aware of that. So you can ask her about that in a message, in an email, however it is that you're receiving this video broadcast. So you want connection. You want to always be aware of your energy state when you're receiving information. Even when you're in a high, when you think you're in a high vibrational state, check in, make sure you are. Especially when we go through high energy times, like in the Lionsgate portal, where everyone in the collective is like feeling this increase in energy, and many of the people who are not awake are feeling physical symptoms that is, it's like lowering the frequency that is in the collective, because everyone's kind of like feeling bad and complaining about it or whatever. And so while many spiritual people get really excited about things like Lionsgate, Halloween, November 11th, times like those when there's an increase in energy frequencies, making it easier to connect, many get lost in that, because become like your 5-year-old kid. We're just gonna say 5-year-old kid. When you're really excited about something, you don't care how it's coming in, because it's coming in and you're experiencing it, and it's like, oh my god, I got what I wanted. Like, this being is connecting with me. I feel like I'm like receiving so much information and oh my God, it's so amazing. And so then it's like you go and you're like playing with the toy, let's say. So you start to play with the toy, but you haven't read the directions yet, or you haven't read the steps that you need to do to like put it together, or how to take care of it or whatever, right? So it's really important to be aware of your energy states. Ask who it is that's coming in. Ask for their name. Ask who they are. Ask your higher self first who it is, if it's safe, if do they have the best interest for you. That's another thing for another topic, is sometimes you're asking the wrong question of, is it safe for you to, or is it okay for you to connect with a certain being, or do a certain thing, but you're not asking if it's like, do they have like your highest interest in mind? Are they for your highest timeline? Do they have good intentions for the earth, for the universe? And it's just really building your awarenesses with that. And this becomes easier when you work with somebody who can teach you how to manage your energy and how you're receiving your psychic resource information, and to help you become more aware and build these connections with your higher self. And this is also why it's really easy for Joy to connect in and know who she's talking with, see them, and really get a sense of who is good and who is not good. Even though we mostly send her now like good people because we have shields and stuff all around her protecting her from all the negative entities who would love to get to her. And yes, is partly due to her connection with Inner Earth. Joy is here to bridge the gap between Inner Earth, you, the human, in Earth, Upper Earth, and the outer world, which would be like the galactic star beings. And she is here to activate DNA, like unlike anybody else who's activating DNA right now, with activating all the codes, bridging the gap between Inner Earth and galactic in specific, unique ways that she does, and that she has been programmed to do. So you can think of Joy as a computer program. She's going to laugh at this when her consciousness fully grasps it when she re-listens to this. You can think of Joy like a supercomputer. Or you can think of Joy like Captain America in the Marvel movies. Captain Marvel in the Marvel movies. She is built with particular, or even Iron Man in the Marvel movies. We love those movies. And each one of the Avengers in the Marvel movies have their own specific, unique abilities to them, and how they can help the earth and each other. And you can think of Joy like that, like she's like a mix of like Iron Man, Captain America, Captain Marvel, where she has literal programs in her energetic field, in her physical field, in her DNA, that makes it easier for her to connect to us, to all the other beings that she will be channeling, the other with her psychic senses that she does for high net worth clients, for consulting, and when she's awakening other people to their psychic abilities and their magic that they have within them. She has a certain frequency about her, and she has a certain particular program that is running in the background. And each and every one of you who's listening have your own program. Though a lot of you who are listening to this are still running Dialup. It's like you're running Dialup in your system when you should be upgrading to fiber optics, or I think there's a higher one that's coming for, like, okay, go from like the internet of the beginning when you guys had started to have internet on planet Earth to where the internet is right now and where it's going for the speed. You don't get there by not doing the work. Like, how can we explain this? Like, dial-up didn't just become fiber optics overnight. Companies didn't just go from dial-up to fiber optics overnight. It took work, it took investments, and it took time and investing in other people and programs and stuff to help them get to where they are now. You can think about that the same way when you're up-leveling yourself and your psychic resources and your connection. We really want you as a collective, as leaders of the global revolution, as leaders of New Earth, to really have it really grounded into you. All of this talk that we're talking about with energy integrity, which is basically what we're talking about, is energy integrity. Having integrity with your energy and knowing who it is and not being like, I'm available for everybody to come and whatever, right? This is going to be a controversial topic that we're going to bring up now, but it's like a post that we had Joy write a couple months ago called, Are You the Hooker or the Escort? So if you're in the hooker type energy, in energy integrity, when we put it into energy integrity, which the post wasn't about energy integrity, it was about value of services, is if you're in hooker energy, you're available for everybody. You're like, I need the money, I need it, and I want it, I want all this energy, but in terms of energy of connectedness and who you're connecting with. And then you're like, oh my God, cool, like I got love language and I'm like writing these cool codes. That's so cool, yeah, I'm just gonna take it and I'm gonna take some more and I'm gonna take some more and I'm gonna take some more. Versus the escort energy who goes, so who are you again? What are you here for? Are you sure? They've invested in themselves, in up-leveling for, well, in a hooker state, it would be like their appearance and wardrobe and stuff. But in your case, for your energy state, would be investing in your energy, in learning how to harness it and really tap into it, and tap into it at the most optimal for you and for your highest good and the highest good of the planet. And not just being like, I will allow anybody and anything to come and use my body and use my energy, and I will be a sounding board for them. What tends to happen, and this is where we're going to end it, okay, with you thinking about this. If you go back and you look at some of the spiritual entrepreneurs that you have followed in the past, who had really good connections and were like, let's say, channeling and like getting lots of information from their guides and their team and like just putting out like tons of information. and then something happened, and then they don't have those connections anymore. It's like they don't have it anymore. It's gone. So one to two things happened. Is their team realized that they were connecting with lower vibrational energies and cut them off, or they themselves might have gone through an ascension state where they've raised their vibrational frequency, their energetic vibrational frequency, and they became no longer viable for those types of energies to enter them and to connect with them. And so we'd like you to have a think about that, a reflection on that, and think about some of the people that you know that maybe you used to be like diehard fans of, and then something happened. It's like overnight, like they're just like, yeah, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not doing this spiritual work anymore. I'm gonna go do something else. And sometimes it's because they've lost their connection with their and well, sometimes it can be good, right? If they were connecting with lower vibrational energies. Yes, so just always be aware of who it is that you're connecting to, and don't let anybody just come in and use your energy. It would be like, what's another earthly example that we can use before we end this segment today, this broadcast today? We're just scanning for a really good one. Have some water. Okay, the only thing that's coming up is it's like you're having a party. Do we want to say party? Okay, we're just gonna allow it to come. It's like you're having a party and you're so excited because everybody came to your party. But when everybody got there, they trash your house and they treat you basically they treat you like you're your friend, but they're not actually your friend because they're using you. It's like someone using you to have a party because like your parents, when you're in high school, let's say, when your parents are going to be away from home and then you're going to be having a party, but people know you're going to be having a party, but typically like you don't have parties. And so you get so excited because you're like, oh my God, yeah, sure, I'll have a party. Everyone's going to come over to my house. Wow, this is great, right? And then you do that for them, and then that happens, and then it's like the next week in school, you know, like your parents are back, whatever, and then you still like get treated like let's say, obviously in this case, you're like kind of like the loner loser type person that's in school that doesn't really get typically invited to places, and then it goes back to either you start to stand up for yourself and be like, oh yeah, they use me, so I shouldn't allow them to use me again like that, or yeah, it's just like, yeah, something changes in your energy or you move or whatever. That's not the best example that we were searching for, but that's it. And I'd like to thank you for listening to this broadcast today from GAIUS, channeled by Joy Rochelle. Joy Rochelle is in the background right now. And if you have any questions or need any clarity on anything, just let us know in the comments. We love you guys and have good energy integrity. Always have that in mind.